So ever since I was a little girl, I have always wanted to live life in the country.
And I've always wanted to live in the country, just haven't always wanted to homestead.
Really? When was that for you?
Kind of like last year.
Really?
Yeah.
What? That's kind of crazy. And of course, we have somebody going by on something.
Angie and I have both had the opportunity to live in many places. 2 different countries, a small town, a large city, and the boondocks.
A ghost town. I think Mike and I made population 12.
14.
Maybe. That's a little bit of an exaggeration, but sometimes it feels like that, doesn't it?
It does.
It does. When Mike and I lived on the outskirts of Toronto just prior to moving here, that's where we started learning about being self-reliant, gardening, food preservation, and really it's where our homesteading journey began. I remember watching so many YouTube videos about, cooking, food preservation, canning, dehydrating, growing a garden. I researched a lot, and I remember thinking, am I ever gonna be able to live this way out in the country? And the hope was to get here, but I never saw us actually getting here.
Mine and my husband's ultimate goal is to move to the country and have not a farm by any means, but have your own animals, like a few chickens and with some land. So that's our ultimate goal, and this here is our training period, I guess you can say, because if we can't do it here where we are close to all the amenities, then maybe we should rethink moving out there.
It is. And this here, you can't really see it because it's entangled with weeds and plants and stuff. But this is the fence we made. We had a big ice storm here in the winter last year, and people were putting these out on the curb, so I was trying to save money and we built a fence, and where the sunflowers are, there's actually an archway. Look at all this wood that we got for free this year. It's a crazy amount. It's a lot of work ahead of us, but it'll give us some really nice fires throughout the winter, so.
It's okay to do a bit more after you get it going, but you really need a good set of a bed of coals in there.
And in 2019, we left our urban homestead and began our off-grid journey. So it's our first night in the new cabin up in the boonies. So welcome to Meanu Acres.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got our bedroom set up and got a couple oil lamps.
Yeah.
Sort of. It's our temporary bedroom.
On the, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, on the cook stove here. So I got some potatoes boiling, and I got a makeshift cover for my cast iron, but I got a cast iron for the chicken there. I'm learning to use the stove, so it's pretty awesome. Yeah, this makes it feel like it's a homestead. What? Get out! Get out!
Right up there in front of the box.
That's so exciting. Is it warm still?
Oh.
Get out! before we moved up here, I think I personally had more of a romanticized version of what homesteading was.
But with all of our experience and like we've had over the years and everything we've done, I
Yeah.
think we have a better understanding now of what homesteading really is.
Yeah, I would say so.
Typically, homesteading is characterized as growing a garden and raising some animals, preserving food,
Yeah.
being self-sufficient.
Yes. But I think with all the experience, like you were saying earlier, that we have, what homesteading means for us might be a little bit different, especially currently, because all of those things we haven't done in the past year, as right now we're currently inside of our future homestead. We are living in a barn, and it has no animals other than our dogs, cats, and us. And inside the barn we have a trailer. And so are we homesteading? No, but we're building a homestead.
Hopefully, we get everything done the way we want, and we'll have a greenhouse, and we'll have our chickens.
Yes, chickens are like,
We've both agreed we love chickens.
we love chickens and we want chickens back. I love the goats, but I think we kind of, for right now, until we're better set up, we've agreed that we're gonna hunt for meat, maybe fish, even though I don't eat fish, but maybe we'll see. And we're gonna get chickens again, probably spring, midsummer. Once more of this is established, we want to give them a good home. So yeah, we want to go back into that typical idea of what homesteading is, but for us, it means a lot more, and it's taught us a lot of life lessons. Working hard for ourselves, I think, is something else that it's taught us. It's also, for me, it's taught me about true community.
It's taught me about preparation.
Yes. And,
So,
and
and that's-
measuring twice and cutting once is definitely, I mean, if you're building a house, definitely a lesson to live by.
And so, I mean, that's kind of where we are now. We're in the prep stage, preparing the path before us to have this perfect homestead.
Yeah. So we're going to take all the experiences that we have had over the last, well, since the homesteading journey began, 8 years, and we're going to take that and try to implement what we know. And of course, there's always room to grow into this homestead, though. So I know that I want a greenhouse. I know that I want a certain type of garden. I know that I want an orchard. I know how I want our house set up, and well, we've come to an agreement. We know the things that are going to work well for us and things that aren't.
I've learned about never-ending projects. There's always something to build or something to do on a homestead.
Even if you're not building a homestead.
I mean, when we moved up here, the first thing I ever built was the chicken coop on the other property. And I mean, look at us now.
Well, look at you now.
Although everything's far away, it's forced us to become more time management oriented.
Yes,
So
and
every
planning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So every trip to town, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
So we make sure we make the trip worth as much as it can be.
Yeah. So although this life is harder, for me, I'm not going to speak for you, but for me, I am living the life that I've always wanted to. And homesteading, I think, was in my core. And I don't know where it came from because I was raised in a city. I did see my grandma and my mom like doing some food preservation and stuff like that. And my grandparents did build their house, so but it was never a dream of mine to build a house. But anyways, I'm going off topic. For me, I'm very, very happy that we're here. We are self-reliant. We are as much as we can be right now. Our hope is to grow further. We use what we got. We're gonna have animals again and all that good stuff. I'm just blabbing. So, did you want to add anything else?
You know what? I love every section of this life. I love trying to make things as efficient as possible. For instance, like our cook stove. It's going to have a water jacket in the back of it that will hook into our water system. So the fire in the stove will heat our house, cook our food, and heat our water. And
I love the multiple uses of something.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
So, yes. So, thank you to Lynn from Bucket List Homestead for thinking of this collaboration and including us and a bunch of other YouTubers. I'm going to leave all that information down below. Thank you so much for inviting us along. And as always,
Take care.
and God bless. Bye. That's not my good side. You don't have a good side.
You're such a positive enforcement in my life.
I am normally.
Ever since I was a little girl,
Okay.
I always wanted to live in a la la land.
You ready?
Begin.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. I mean, currently, right now, same thing, right? I mean, right now, we are currently, I did it again. Currently and right now, same thing.